One of the most common questions that people ask me as a priest is, why celibacy? Why does a priest, in the Roman Church at least, have to remain celibate? And it's true that celibacy is probably one of the most countercultural aspects of being a priest today.
Celibacy is, in the Western Church, compulsory for priests. So it's something to take seriously if someone is discerning their priestly life.
It's certainly a commitment that makes no sense to many people in our society, possibly to many of our families, many of our friends. It seems like a ridiculous and nonsensical thing to do.
And there needs to be an openness in that discernment so that one can know that they are entering into that freely. That means having good relationships with both men and with women, and maintaining those also once you're ordained.
Celibacy can often be thought as a no to marriage, no to family, etc. But it's really more so a yes. And just as marriage is not meant to be seen as saying no to everyone else in the world except for one person, it's really meant to be seen as a yes. And then so in the same way, celibacy is saying a great big yes to love in a unique way that God loves us.
It's not easy to live this way because the Lord is kind of present in our lives in a way that's different to anybody else present in our lives. He's not present in our lives in the way a man might have his wife present or a wife might have her husband present. So it's a different kind of presence that we have to learn to tune into, learn to adapt to.
I think until we understand celibacy as a great gift to the Church, we will always struggle with trying to understand its place in the priesthood and in society.
It's a gift because the man is then able to give himself totally over with an undivided heart, both to God and to his people. He's able to serve the people of God totally and with no division in his heart, to lay down his life, just as Jesus did for his own flock.
Celibacy for me and priesthood makes most sense when I'm putting my giftedness, the gifts which God has given me, generously at the service of others. And I think that's one of the call of diocesan priesthood, is to be generous in our service.
I'm not married, but the fact that I'm a priest, living this life of celibacy, I feel deep down in my heart that it gives me a lot of freedom, a lot of attachment to Christ without any division.
I feel most fruitful as a celibate when there's all that connections. There's that connection with Christ in prayer. That's so important. And when I'm connected with my parish community and serving them, that's when celibacy makes sense.
I think celibacy has a powerful prophetic role to play in society today. In a unique way, the celibate person is called to live now, here on earth, that primary loving relationship with God that everyone is called to live for all eternity in heaven.
This is how we are being called to live our eternity. That is, one day there will be no need for marriage, that we will be totally satisfied with God alone, and this is our destiny.
And so the priesthood, the celibate priesthood, stands as a powerful witness of that fact, that life here on earth is not the be-all and end-all, but that each and every one of us is created for something more, the next life to come. So celibacy stands as a sign for that reality.
Celibacy means being fully alive and loving all, but in a way that is orientated towards a particular vocation.
A person who's called to marry and for whatever reason resists it won't be as happy as he or she might otherwise have been. A person who is called to celibacy and for some reason or another resists it won't be as happy as he or she might otherwise have been had they responded to the call. It's all about discerning, what is God asking of me? Who is God asking me to be?
One of the things I've always believed is that if I couldn't live my celibacy faithfully, then I probably wouldn't be faithful in married life either, because the same commitment is required in both situations. Real dedication, real giving of self, but also a sacrifice, that one has to look beyond oneself to the good of others.
So celibacy will have its challenges, but it will be a source of great joy and a source of great life and vitality for the church and for God's people if we live it faithfully, if we live it generously, and if we live it as a call to a personal relationship with the Lord, rather than just some pragmatic way of making ourselves more available to other people.